welcome everybody to another episode of Indie Inquiries, where we review Steam store pages and provide the best advice on how to market your game on Steam. So it was requested by the fans to try and do one of these live. We'll see if anyone shows up, but for the recorded folks, you'll be able to enjoy everything with all the cuts and edits completely done on your side. Let me take a look at your store page for a future show. Please reach out. For this episode, this was one that was submitted a few weeks ago. I do have a few more that we're going to try and get to in future, whether it be recorded or done live. But this is going to be for the game Indie Blast versus the Forces of Evil. This is kind of aimed to be kind of along the lines of Duke Nukem, the original one, the 2D Commander Keen style. And they reach out, wanted me to take a look at their page. So hopefully all the OBS stuff will hold up. We shall see. But we're going to start things off with our thumbnail, as always. And this time I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit. So here is our thumbnail / capsule for Indie Blast versus the Forces of Evil. Now, all the bat, it has a good structure to it. Your eye is basically going to be drawn, well, to the blast right here, and then it will kind of go down the title. Each war, of course, is a different color. Now, with that said, however, this thumbnail I don't think does a good job of giving the player an idea of what this game is going to be about. You can kind of see, like, these little blood footprints leading from the grave. So, it could, like, in a way, remind someone of something like Zombies Ate My Neighbors or that particular style. Now, when we get to the trailer in a few minutes, that shows things off with a lot more enemy designs, a lot more stuff like that. I wonder if something along that line could have better encapsulated the thumbnail. Like, had, Andy on this side, zombies, monsters, ghouls, and all that on this side, and kind of make like a very big action shot. Because this thumbnail, again, while I think it is technically sound, it's not really, I think, doing anything to capture someone's attention. They may see this like bright light here of the blast, but there's nothing on this thumbnail I think is going to, motivate someone to check things out further. So for a grade, while I don't think this is a bad thumbnail, I don't think it's going to do enough to, again, get someone excited. So I think I'm going to have to give this one the gentleman's C, just for average. Again, this is the kind of structure you want for a thumbnail in terms of something catching the player's or the consumer's eye, and then it kind of leads them around. It could even be, like, if we want to keep this style of thumbnail, maybe even have like a hand reaching out or, something spooky down here. Because again, their eyes are going to be drawn up here immediately. And yes, the developer did request the review for this one. But all in all, I think this is a solid thumbnail from a technical standpoint. But it doesn't really, I think, do anything that's going to get someone excited about this game. So common, you can barely tell it's well, you can kind of see, like, the little grave here. I like this detail of, like, the blood footprints, but, again, nothing here is really telling you, okay, what is this game going to be? Could it be an adventure game? Like, I've seen, like, point-and-click adventure games in a thumbnail style like this, but this is going to be, like, 2D action again, like, very bombastic. And again, like, the most bombastic thing on this is this blast, which even, like, again, like, the name is kind of covering it up. You may be confused, like, this could be, like, the sun, or, just, like, something, like, floating in the air. So again, for me, I'm giving this a C. Not bad, not, like, blowing my mind, pun intended. Things are set up. Let's take a look at the trailer for Indie Blast versus the Forces of Evil. So I'll let this play without sound while we go over it. So I like, again, in this way, usually we don't show the developer's name of the Star Wars trailer. They're relatively unknown, but I do like the name somewhere, and the logo is really nice. So right off the bat, one thing that I'm like, the pixel art feels a little cluttered in some places, like right here. Like, I honestly could not tell at a moment that it's supposed to be Crash. It feels like it may be a little, the resolution for this trailer may, or like the image may be too small for it. Because again, like, if you can make out Crash here, good on you. Like that. I like this kind of framing in terms of wreck your truck. We do all this. Hook your girl. Date, and then we go in. Now, the gameplay doesn't start until about 30 seconds, 29 seconds in. And the music, I think, somewhat fits for it. But I do have a problem with the footage that they're showing. So for anyone who is a platformer fan watching this live or recorded, do you see the problem in terms of how this footage is being shown? Any guesses from either chat or if you're watching this recorded? Well, the answer is that if we go back to our gameplay footage, you can see, like, at this part that the camera is not really keeping the character in the center of the frame. Like, you can see that they're being attacked from off screen, and that is going to be a potential issue when it comes to any kind of 2D action game. Like, again, you can see, like, he's either, like, all the way at the top or all the way at the bottom. And typically for an action game, especially something where you only take one hit, you want to keep the player consistently in, like, one position on the screen so that the camera will properly move and scale to what is happening. Because I can see a lot of people getting attacked by something off screen with footage like this. One thing that I do like, that I think should definitely be more a part of the marketing for this game, are these kinds of, like, little, like, death vignettes. It really reminds me of Dragon's Lair in that respect, where every time Dirk dies, you get your own custom way of watching him get killed there. The ghost one I thought was really nice. Now, the trailer, it kind of ends with a good moment with, like, you know, your blood's being sucked out. Now, one thing that kind of annoys me, this may be a little OCD talking, but, like, putting, like, Andy Blass and then the verses over here, like, to me this just reads Andy versus Blass or versus Andy Blass. And I just wonder again, like, it's an okay end, but it still is a little bit generic for something like this. And I think this game is, like, in terms of, like, the marketing as a whole, it's missing, like, that wow factor. Like, before I started the stream / recording this, I was thinking, like, with a game like this, you could have, like, something like, even like if you remember the old Mega Man box art, where it's just like this, like, what the heck is this guy, like, looking at or looking as? Like, just like something that looks like really over the top. And I think if that could really, like, pop for, like, the both, like, as a final scene of the trailer or for the thumbnail / capsule. Now, in terms of the structure of this trailer, I think it works. It may, like, this beginning may be, like, a touch slow. Like, maybe, like, from each one of these, like, little sections here, maybe cut, like, a second or two out of it. Because I do feel, like, a little bit overly long. I get, like, it's supposed to be, like, drawing this out, making this, like, feel really cinematic, really explosive. But it does kind of eat up about 29 seconds of your 1 minute trailer. And again, like, looking at the footage of the game, like, it looks like what it's promising. There's going to be a very action game, shotgun, blasting lots of enemies, and then getting different deaths. I would even, like, if there's like a boss fight, even like having something that stands out from everything else would be a good, like, kind of punctuation for the end of this trailer. So, grade-wise, again, like, I don't see this as being bad, but it's kind of missing that, again, the wow factor, that what is the player going to remember the most out of this that is going to, get this game to resonate with them. And again, like, either having, like, a boss fight, maybe some, like, really, like, crazy, like, art to go with the Andy Blasters of the Forces of Evil. Just, again, something to be that period at the end of this trailer. So, again, grade-wise, I don't see this as being bad. Well, we do have, now this is the trailer for the demo. So there is the call to action right here of demo available now on Steam. So it is possible that they may put out another one, or this could be updated when the game is out, saying, instead of demo available now on Steam, game release, or check it out now, or something like that. Now there is a second trailer. And let me see if I can pull this up really fast. Now, this is the pre-launch trailer, and I don't think there is anything different about it. It's about 16 seconds shorter. So let's see, do they do anything different? So it's kind of the same beginning, minus like the cutscenes. Feels like this one's trying to be more like horror. I hate to say it, but I think that this trailer is slightly better than the demo trailer. It has, again, if we go here, we have an actual boss fight. And we have, again, like, the punctuation of this trailer is as just showing one death animation, but it's a really solid death one. Now, there is no call to action on this. Now, the white text over a black image, again, it does kind of hurt things a little bit, but I think the fact that it moves faster, so it looks like it's about maybe like 2 to 3 seconds of text, helps it flow better. And I like the kind of punctuation of the shotgun at the 16, 17 second mark. It feels like, in terms of the tone, that the demo trailer is trying to be more almost like action movie, like Evil Dead 3, that kind of, or again, like a Duke Nukem style. Well, this is trying to play more like horror. Like, yes, you're going to have a shotgun, but you are fighting for your life and all that. One thing that I do like from this trailer, I want to go back to that point, is... Let's see, where was it? So you bounce up there. I like that kind of shotgun blast right there. At the 29-second mark, I like this kind of like showing like a little bit of like dodging the shot. Yeah, so Pony in chat is saying that they would like a rapid cut segment of the main deaths, drop in the music, Marvel Comics logo style, like something like epic like that. But I think like for a trailer like this, being 44 seconds long, having one death, and again, like if you've never, like for people watching this, if you've never seen this before, if this is your first exposure to it, having like this kind of like little animated death cutscene, kind of like, is like, wow, we're actually showing our character being melted in acid. I think overall, this is the stronger trailer of the two. It's shorter. It kind of gives you a little bit more detail. It also doesn't show off as badly that issue of keeping the character properly in the center of the screen. So I'm watching this again just to make sure that I don't see anything like this. Again, nothing's like attacking them off screen. He's kept kind of either like middle or kind of slightly below, slightly above. Like, overall, this is, I think, a stronger trailer of the two. And trying to think, like, is there a way to combine these two? I know he's saying it hides issues with the game, so it's a good trailer, or trailers do that. But even just, again, the structure of this one, I think, is stronger. Again, more is not better in a lot of cases when it comes to trailers. If you can make your point in 30 seconds, make a 30-second trailer. If it actually takes you a minute to make your point, make it a minute long. But you don't want it to feel like the trailer is just going on for the sake of it. Like, you can still do, like, these kinds of, like, again, like, little, like, cinematic, like, little pixel cinematic scenes like this. But speed it up, make it a little bit faster. Like, this whole part, I don't think it should be 29 seconds long. Maybe 10 to 15 seconds. And again, if we look at this first trailer, we can actually, or the second trailer, we can actually count. When does the actual game start? So it's like right at 18 seconds versus 29 seconds. So, in terms of grade, again, this is why when we talk about the store page reviews, you need to have the trailer being on point, because this is going to be really the major thing that's going to decide whether or not someone's going to check out the rest of your game. And again, this is going to be the center point of your marketing as well. So, grade-wise, again, both trailers, I would say, are not bad in the slightest. The second trailer is better, but I don't think it puts into, like, the wow, oh my goodness, this is, like, an amazing trailer side. So, the first trailer, it has a bit better structure, it has a call to action. I don't feel like it deserves a D, but the fact that it's showing the issues with, like, the camera not properly keeping the player in focus, I think I'm going to have to give it a C. I think I'm going to have to give it D plus C minus. The issue is at the beginning of it, it's a little bit too long, but also the fact that some of this footage here, it feels like it's way too close up. It's a little hard to make out what these are. So I think the first trailer, or the demo trailer, D plus C minus. And then for the second trailer, it's a little bit better focus. It has a good punctuation to it. But it doesn't have a call to action at the end. But I think it still shows the game off better. I think it's structurally better as well. I think I'll give the second trailer, I guess, C plus. Again, I don't think there's enough here to take this into B or B minus range. But this trailer does a good job of kind of really highlighting, again, a lot of the good points of this game. So, the perfect trailer would be some kind of, like, mix between the two, I guess, in a way. Still, again, in terms, like, for developers watching this, like, when we reviewed Business Heroes in the previous episode, that was a very abstracted heavy game. So again, you're limited in terms of what you can show up that's going to wow someone. For an action game like this, these are the kinds of scenes you want to show in an action game. You want to show, the player kicking butt. If there's, dodging and stuff like that, show that off. I even like this moment right here where he does like the little shotgun propel. If that's going to be a focus of the game, maybe a little bit more of that. You have a boss fight, and of course you have your player dying. So, again, the pieces are here. They just need to be, I think, better rearranged to show things off. So let's take a look at some of these images. So we have the minimum of 5. Now, The problem I think a game like this has, much like with Business Heroes, is that because the footage is all kind of taking place in the same environment, a lot of these screenshots are going to look similar. Like, I think this was in the trailer here. This one is new. I do like this kind of look right there. But yeah, 5 images. I think this one is new. Maybe this one. So maybe like 1 repeat out of the 5. I do think like showing off 1 more boss fight would be very useful for an image like this. Again, there's no image here that I would say again, like it encapsulates what this game is going to be. And yes, to Pony's comment, like most of these are not even action. Like we look at this, the only one that really shows off action could very well be this one, with our buddy here, it looks like blasting something there. But yeah, like show me like for a game like this, I could just imagine a perfect image being, Andy like in the air shooting the shotgun. There's some giant monster on the right-hand side. Like, just like give me like an action shot. And that I think could really make this pop. So overall, again, like with images like this, and again, like I say with a lot of these store page reviews, we're reviewing we can't change the game. Like, we can't complain, oh, this is a 2D game, so the images are in 2D. But what we want to see are images that, again, perfectly represent the game and make it exciting to the player. Like, if this is an action game, then I would like to see each image be an action shot. Show me, again, like, the image from the trailer where he's, shotgun jumping. Make that a screenshot here. Heck, make that's part of a platforming section. Show me that. Again, show me what makes your game exciting. Because if you can't do that, then you're not really getting the player interested in the game. Again, what is exciting about your game depends on the game in question. If you're making a logistics sim, a turn-based RPG, cooking, space, whatever. Now, I don't think Deponent's about spoiling the final boss, but again, just show me a boss. Show me something that is, like, popping here. Yeah? And to be fair, like, if the person doesn't play the game, they won't know that's the final boss. They'll just know that's just some big, nasty enemy there. So, the screenshots, they meet the minimum. Pony saying if the zombified girlfriend isn't the final boss, they'll be mad. Maybe that's the alternate ending. Maybe that's the Splatterhouse 3 ending. There's a cut for everyone watching this. All in all, again, the images are average. I wouldn't say they're bad images. I wouldn't say they're selling this game. So, again, I think with that, I think I'm going to have to give this another average score. I think I'm going to give it C-C. Because, again, I think it's missing a good action shot. And one of these images, I'm pretty sure, was from the trailer. This one right here. So let us go down to the About This Game section. And as you can tell right away, we got a very big problem. There are no GIFs, no images, there's nothing. It is kept very plain. And that's not what we want to see. Again, for those of you who missed the previous episode with Business Heroes Street Grub, that is kind of the part and parcel, like, poster child example of what you want this About This Game section. You want images, you want sections, you want GIFs, you want to sell the player on this game. And you want to give them a little bit more detail about what is happening. This tells me very little. 9 levels, boss battles, secrets and Easter eggs. Still, no images, no GIFs. Like, this would be a perfect place to show off a few more deaths. Yep, and I was just going to get to that from what Pony was saying about highlighting the shotgun jumping. Again, the GIFs on your store page, especially for any kind of action or reflex-driven game, that is your bread and butter, because those you can also post on social media. If you have some crazy, like a shotgun jump into shooting a barrel, the barrel explodes, flies up, hits an enemy gets knocked into acid or lava, and you can show that in like a 2 to 3 second GIF, put that on your store page, and again, show that to people on social media. Because a lot, again, of what we talk about here is stuff that can be transferred to other platforms. If you have a really good trailer, you should put that on, YouTube. You want to show that on Blue Sky, X Twitter, or whatever other platforms you're on. Because this is how you build awareness for your game, and you start cementing this game in people's minds. You want them to remember, hey, that really funky trailer where, guys are getting knocked all over the place and there's explosions and shotguns and sniper rifles and whatever. I want to wishlist that game. I want to check it out. This, again, shows me very little as to what is going to make this game exciting. So it mentions, again, retro 2D platformer. Dangerous. Nukem. Yep, 9 levels. Even, just showing, a, almost like a gif of, the girlfriend being captured, or, Andy getting the shotgun. Just, again, something to give this pop is what matters. So, unfortunately, because of this, we're gonna take a hit. Now, to Pony's comment, paragraphs are too thick. They're right on that line. Again, you don't want, usually 5 lines total is the end of the length of a paragraph. 3 to 4 lines is usually I think would be the better. Yeah, but again, there's no titling, there's no sectioning. The bullet points, again, they are okay. But again, there is nothing that will drive the player's eye. Again, that's the point of images and GIFs. That when they're scrolling from up here to go down here, what is capturing their eye? Again, that's not a rhetorical question. So, unfortunately, for the About This Game section, this is going to be a very easy grade. It's not going to be a happy grade, but it gets an F. The only thing that keeps it from getting an F- is that they at least bullet pointed this section. You cannot get a high grade for this if you don't at least show an image. Yeah. And yeah, to Pony's comment in the chat are the hero, girl, zombies, death animations, you could even show just an image of a collage of different death scenes. Just something of color and, popping to make this work. And if you don't have anything, it just kills this section. I think when I reviewed Concord's store page, I think I gave that one an F-, because that one didn't even have, I think, bullet points. But yeah, again, not the best grade for something like this. So let us go to our final section before the final grade, and that is the title card. And again, the title card, much like the images, it's very hard to score in the middle on. You either do it really well, or you just do it okay, or not well at all. So we have 2 tags, action, adventure, which, again, they are really solid. You like the brought the CPU requirements there, Pony? But again, you want a minimum of 3 genre tags. I would say, again, they're missing the gimme of single player. But action adventure definitely works. Maybe, I forget if Steam still has a platformer tag, but that would also kind of fit here. We have no social media, however. There's no way to reach out to the developer. There's no YouTube channel. There's no connection to this developer at all. And that is a problem. They at least got the minimum of at least making Steam happy with the algorithm. But there's nothing here that, again, if someone comes to this page, it's like, well, I want to follow the developer. There's nothing. Now, they add in the more like this section now to store pages. I'm sure all these games are just like this one. The Five Nights at Freddy's game, I'm sure, fits exactly here, right? This is going to be another easy section, I think, as a grade. You have the genre tags, or you're not getting all three, but there's no information. I think, ultimately, I don't think this gets into the B range. I can't give it an average C because you're missing one genre tag. But with no social media presence, nothing along those lines, I hate to say it, but I think I'm going to give the title card just a solid D. Again, these sections are very easy to do right, and they're very easy to screw up on. You like the comparison to old titles? Yeah. And again, like when we, to Pony's comment about like the comparison to older titles, that's what we talked about with Business Heroes, with the very first few frames of their trailer showing off Lemonade Tycoon, because the game was inspired by that. And again, to Pony's comment about how people read, words or lots and lots of text are your enemy when it comes to marketing your game. How many trailers have we seen where it's just, here's a black screen and there's 10 rows of text, or the game's it being played in the background, there's just all this text in the front of you, can't even see what's happening. You want to be very kind of laser focused in terms of what text you're going to put on your trailer, what text is going to be on your store page, GIFs, images, and all that. Yeah. People love the Star Wars text scroll, right, Pony? Especially if you slow it down like 5 times slower. For the final grade. So again, we go from the trailer and we kind of work our way around that. So like I said, I gave the second trailer a C, C+. I gave the other one a C, C-. And I guess I'll be friendly and I'll be on the nicer side, and we'll start with the average of the C, C+. Lowest grade was for the About This Game page, and that was an F. Then we have a D, D+. I gave this, I think, a C. I gave this a D+, C- for the images. So I think it does have to come down a little bit, because that F is really damning in terms of the average. So if I go with a C, C+ as our starting point, I think for the final grade, I don't want to give this into the D range. I don't think it deserves that. I think I'm going to have to drop it down to just an average. Maybe the page is just that. I think I'm going to have to give it a C- C for the overall page. Because again, you have a lot of good pieces here, being an action game, being very reactive, and explosions, and zombies dying, and all that. And a lot of that is not being conveyed on this page, on this thumbnail. And we got probably the best footage of this being the second trailer for this game. And remember, most people are not going to look at 3 to 5 trailers on your store page. Whatever plays when they start up the page, that's going to be what they're going to look at and grade your game on. And I would definitely, I think, move this one and make this your primary trailer. And again, the thumbnail could definitely stand to show some improvement as well. I think all in all, what kind of sums up the issue for the store page, it's missing that one perfect encapsulation of this game, that one, just completely badass, explosion, oh my god, image that sums this game up. Whether it can be part of your thumbnail, whether it can be the final image of your trailer, it just needs something. And that, again, is how you start tying your marketing and everything that you promote your game with from that. If you're, again, building a super horror, spooky, scary game, and you have some crazy monster with 7 heads, 16 arms, knives, and all that, you want that to be kind of front and center for your marketing. You want to show it off in trailers. You want to show it off in GIFs and on your thumbnail. As we've seen so many horror designers have their, principal monster on their thumbnail in some way, shape, or form. You need to have something that you can, again, center your marketing around and then expand on. Again, probably the best thing marketing-wise that I've seen from the store page are the different, death animations. One thing that, as a bit of suggestion that they could do as another form of marketing, would be maybe something like a cut style, similar to that of the old Dragon's Lair, where replace Dirk dying with showing off different death animations, making them start with something that may look a little normal or normal for being killed in a game like this, and just get more and more wacky or over the top or something like that. Because again, that is how you can start building an interest in your game. That's something you can start showing people when you market. Hey, I'm making this, very difficult 2D action game, and look how you can die in this game. The many ways a player can be killed. Since Pony's watching this in chat, with something like when we played Volgar the Viking, and, showing him being killed, and, knocked into a pit, or fallen to spikes. Again, if you're building your game to be challenging, then make that a part of your marketing. Show me, the skeletons beating me up. Show me, the acid. The fact that the second trailer ends with this kind of punctuation of falling into the acid and then, bones rising up from the acid, that is a really good example of what we're talking about. Make that a little bit more of the trailer, or again, make that a little bit more of your marketing. Show me different deaths. Because again, as I've said, the major thing that this store page is missing is that one connective tissue that resonates with the player, that shows what this game is going to be about. To go back to our thumbnail over here, does this show off deaths? Does it show off action? As I said, in the section, when I first saw this, I thought this was going to be more like a point and click, maybe like a Maniac Mansion kind of adventure game. This doesn't even show a shotgun. Which again, the whole shotgun is a major part of the trailer. When you have, the shotgun pump action at the, the 19-second mark in the second trailer. Yeah, and to Pony in chat, it's the thumbnail is giving this off as being a somber, maybe a horror game. And if you look at these two, again, if you listen to the music of these two trailers, this trailer sounds more like an action game. Very bombastic, very, again, we go the whole Marvel thing. It sounds like an Avengers trailer. And then if we go to this trailer, this sounds more like horror. The player's gonna die, it's gonna be spooky, and you're gonna barely make it out of your life. And I think that the music of the second trailer, again, if you're building this as an intense platforming, anywhere at any time the player can die, then I think that music works better. So, again, overall, for the store page, it is just like average below average. And again, like when we talk, as I said in the last one, when we're reviewing the store pages like this, we're not focusing on what the game is about or the quality of the game itself. We're focusing on how you present this to someone. Because how, presenting a business sim style game is going to be markedly different than presenting them an action game, a horror game. Well, someday maybe I'll go into a store page design, Pony. But again, you want to be able to show off what makes your game special. And like I said, the reason why this matters is that this becomes the focal point of your marketing. A really good trailer, you can show that on social media. If you can make it like a 20, 30-second trailer, you can make a TikTok, a YouTube short, whatever the youngins are calling it these days. Because when we look at games that kind of go viral on social media, it is about that perfect 5 to 10 seconds of WTF of what this game is going to be about. And again, whatever that is going to be very different based on what your genre is going to be. But I think like reviewing like this game back to back with Business Heroes shows, I think, a really good kind of dichotomy. That Business Heroes was a game that is far less action, it's far less bombastic, obviously, unless they're going to add in zombie killing in between you ordering more soda and burgers at your stand. But they know what their market is, they know what makes their market exciting. Money, profit, spreadsheets. Would that kind of marketing work for a game like this? Probably not. But you want to be able to convey to someone what my game is doing, what makes it special, and why you should care about. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to get someone excited about your game. And if they're not going to get excited about it, more than likely they're not going to check it out. So, with that, I think that sums things up for this review. Again, it's not a bad store page, but it needs to be able to do more to get someone interested in it. I would like to thank the developer for reaching out. Hopefully I didn't blast his game too much here on the video/stream. And if you let me talk about your store page for future recording, video, stream, whatever, please reach out. I still have plenty more in the backlog to get to. So, for the people watching this live, if you want me to keep doing these as a live thing from time to time, let me know. Or if you just prefer the recorded with all the edited fancy bells and whistles, let me know in the comments. But thank you everybody for watching. For those of you watching this live, we'll be back later tonight for our regular game stream. For everyone else, be sure to check out the other store page reviews. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. But thanks again for watching, and come back for the discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom, where some of the art and science of games. Until our next stream, video, whatever, have a great rest of your night, and a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and a special thank you to our Patreon supporters. If you enjoyed the video, do the YouTubing stuff, be sure to visit our Discord and Patreon, and if you're interested in more in my thoughts on design, check out my game design books.